What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for popping into my review for Mufasa, The Lion King. This plays as a prequel to The Lion King. It tells the story of Mufasa and also plays as a prequel to The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. And it also changed the continuity of that film, not to spoil anything, but when the end of the film happens, you're like, oh, are they pulling from that animated show, The Lion Guard, that they did, which was a sequel to I don't even know where that fit in the timeline, but whatever this movie's trying to accomplish, it plays as a sequel and a prequel to a lot of things. And it was a doozy to me. I didn't hate this movie. I don't think it's a terrible movie, but you know what I think when I'm watching this? I'm like, okay, Disney was probably like, we're in a bit of a rut. We need to make some money. So, what's a popular IP? Oh, The Lion King made $1.6 billion at the box office. Let's do another one. Should we remake Lion King 2? No, let's do an original story. Let's do our own thing and do the prequel and show how Mufasa became Mufasa, the King of Pride Rock. And that is a good kind of thought and a good idea, but there's really not a lot of passion that went into this. It just felt very by the books. You get to see how Mufasa meets Scar, or Taka as his name is originally, how he becomes Scar, which I thought that should have been the emotional crux of the film, which it kind of is, but it's kind of underplayed at the same time. I felt that it happened pretty abruptly by the last act of the movie, the last half hour of the movie. Things just started to be like, okay, this is where it's going to go. Okay, and the reason why Scar starts to dislike him is kind of ridiculous, but it's also kind of predictable. The movie doesn't throw any surprises at you. I think the animation is good. The backgrounds are great, but the animation of the characters, 2019's movie, I thought was, they weren't very emotive. So you didn't really feel any emotions that were expressed. Also, I thought some of the voice acting in that movie wasn't up to par either. This film has better voice acting, and the characters are emotive, but I think that they're too emotive and too expressive to where it just looks weird for me, and it should have been a 2D animation. Like Rafiki sometimes is like, oh, he's really happy, he's really smiling right now, and it was just like this probably would have worked better in 2D. But the story, like I said, it just felt really undercooked. The songs are not great. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda should have done the music for Moana 2, and you should have brought Elton John back, Tim Rice, Hans Zimmer to do the music for this. There is a lot of Hans Zimmer's score used in this film from that original Lion King film, and it's all used for nostalgia. And every time you hear that music, it's the best part. The new music, yeah, not great. The new instrumental music, not memorable. The new songs, not memorable. I think, like I said, Lin-Manuel Miranda should have done the music to Moana 2, because those songs I don't think were great either. He should have went and did the sequel to that, brought back the original songwriters here. It just felt like they just kind of thought that they can throw a bunch of things together to make a quick buck, and that's kind of what it feels like. Honestly, I think this movie should have been a live-action reimagining of The Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, not this crap put in a blender. It's not a terrible movie, but I think it's mediocre, and it really didn't do it for me emotionally. I thought it was predictable. The villain, played by Mads Mikkelsen, just a terrible one-note villain. We've seen villains like this before, played by Mads Mikkelsen, and yeah, it just didn't wow me, didn't surprise me. I thought that some of the sequences were good, some of the visuals were really good, but overall, it's not up to par to what a Lion King movie should be. And that 2019 movie, like when I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is kind of mediocre. Watched it again recently, and I said, you know what? I like it more. That movie grows on me a little bit every time I watch it. It's not great, obviously. It's not as great as the original Lion King, but it's a better story than this movie had to offer. So I do think that film is better. And if you want to watch anything Lion King this weekend, watch The Lion King 2 Simba's Pride. Watch The Lion King 2019 or 1994, regardless. Watch Lion King 1.5, which there's hints of that in this movie with Timon and Pumbaa as well. There's just too much going on with not as much satisfaction at the end of it. So my overall rating for Mufasa the Lion King is 3 out of 5 stars. Really mediocre, right in the middle of the road on it. I can't give it a negative rating because it is watchable, but it's also pretty forgettable. So that's my thoughts on the film, guys. Comment down below. Do you plan on seeing this movie? What's your most anticipated film for this weekend? You're going to go see this? You're going to go see Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which my review up for that now, and I do think that is the superior film of the weekend, and hopefully that it wins the weekend. But I think just because The Lion King is a hot IP, this movie's going to make a boatload of money. $1 billion? I don't know, but I don't think it deserves it. So we'll see what happens with that. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for a bunch of reviews coming in the future. We've got a lot of great films coming at the end of the year. Hopefully great films. The Complete Unknown, Nosferatu, Osprey-type films, Sing Sing, Nickel Boys, September 5, Brutalist, all sorts of things coming. Can't wait to talk about. And guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X at RyanKing72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingArises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for Mufasa, The Lion King. And until next time, over and out.